And now we have begun the final arc of season of Sword Art Online 2, the Mother Rosario arc. And I must say this episode was very enlightening and very especially with the ending, a WTF moment. I didn't expect that. But to be really honest, when I was watching this, I felt like listening to Nickelback's "If Today Was Your Last Day," because because of the reminisce of memories line. I was like, yeah, that would suit, because it was basically a reminiscent episode as far as things. Well, not all the way through, of course, but the minor snippets, of course. So yeah, from my understanding of this arc, this apparently focuses on Asuna and only Asuna. Like she's the main character for this arc. So yeah, I don't know how people feel about that. But yeah, the episode started off with just hanging around in the party, and I'm just really, you're doing stuff that you would do in the real world. I mean, come on. I mean, there's some stuff that I'll accept when it comes to an MMO. I mean, what's the point in, eating the stuff if you're going to be hungry when you get out? I mean, they ate all those fucking cakes, and then she just says towards the end, "Oh my god, I'm going to be late for dinner." I'm just like, you technically just had dinner, but of course, but still, fucking logic, I don't really give a damn. But yeah, we learn about a new character called Zekken, and we find out that he is a transferred character because of how powerful he is, and he has a hit rate or damage output of 11, speed. He could hit people 11 times consecutively. But yeah, Liz, she said something that was very strange. The guy didn't drop to 70%, and I was just like, what? So Leafa's saying he's dropped to 60%, and then when the Kirito fight came up, it looked like they were all he was not halfway. No, it wasn't a 50%. It looked like it was about on the 20s, mid-30s range of percentages. So I was just like, Liz, what you spouting, girl? It was like when she said, I never met a bloody real-life MMO female player, and I was just like, what? I mean, what? You what, the Pina girl? Leafa. Asuna right next to you. What is your logic? But yeah. She has Zekken. Challenging people, come from the new MMO, and people were trying to put him in his place, but he trounced them all. And then Asuna was intrigued, but Asuna did have major not major. She did have, I suppose, a form of character development. Basically, she has real life anxieties. We find out that basically she's Spiegel in a way. When Spiegel wanted to live in the MMO rather than real life. And while she isn't as crazy and psychotic as Spiegel, she did have those same things. She didn't feel like she belonged anywhere in real life or in the MMO. But when she went out with Kirito, she felt like she bought the log cabin and then found Yui and formed that family. She found a place where she belonged, the MMO world, and she doesn't like her family. And yes, that typical teenage notion, but of course people have reasons. But still, and her reasons, it's the typical cliche with the rich girl. But yeah, I mean, and the father or whichever, did technically almost marry her to a pedophile, kind of, and was gonna allow him to marry to the unconscious body. But yeah, that aside, I suppose in her real life she found solace, even if she didn't have anywhere to go to. Well, didn't belong in the MMO world to begin with before Kirito. The escapism, she just really wanted to have another life beyond, the typical rich girl. And yeah, those guys in the past thing, when it was just quiet, I was just like, oh my god, can it be any more obvious? I mean, they were lusting for her like crazy. But yeah. So I suppose, like with her wanting to go fight Zenkin, she wants to make a name for herself, or I don't really know why, because she basically, like, she seems to be a little bit more happy in her real life than she makes out to be, because obviously she's seen Kirito, she's got real life friends as well as her MMO friends. It's also real life friends, of course. Um, what else was there? Yeah, and we find out that I know this is like a minor thing, but she has a second character, and that character looks totally different to that one. And I thought, like, what? You can have that? I mean, but yeah. So yeah, the dungeon fight was absolutely glorious. I mean, it was much better than that Minotaur fight in episode. What episode is this? 18, so 17, 16. Yeah, much better than the episode 16 fight. But yeah, the music was there, and I swear the government official with glasses was right next to it during the fight, and yeah, that was epic. And I was afraid that Shinon wasn't going to be there. And while for the most part she is, because she, well, in this episode she did feel like a back character, but at least going into it, I know that this is focused on Asuna, but I was a little bit peeved that everyone else was there, but Shinon wasn't. As well as Klein, because I like Klein a lot more now after the Excalibur arc. But yeah. Oh yeah, speaking of Excalibur, when the Zenken defeated all those guys and he was just piled on top of the bodies, I just thought King Arthur. I was just like, my god. King Arthur, see him, motherfucker. Artorias! So yeah, Kirito fought Zenken, found out, and yeah, he lost, but Leafa noticed that those two were talking. What I don't know. And yeah, I had a funny feeling that Zenken was a trap, but then, just like showed like, the male persona, and actually, Liz, Leafa, and Kirito, when they fought him. Yeah, it's a him. I'm like, oh, okay. Not a trap. I'm a little bit disappointed. I thought it'd be a girl, but no. Oh well. They were talking what I don't know about, but this is one of the reasons why Asuna wants to fight Zenken, but I think there's more to it than that besides getting the actual sword, because I don't know, she seems a little bit too curious for something, and they asked the obvious question. Because of his skill, and how he fared with Kirito, I suppose, and beat him. They asked if he was if he was a sword art online survivor, and Kirito stated, no, he wasn't a SAO survivor, because if he was, he would have had the double sword skill, and not me. So yeah, that says a lot. We have basically in the presence of Kirito's better, and it makes me wonder, like, if we're going by that, like, why Kirito isn't the main for this arc, if what I'm hearing is true, but, yeah. This episode was set up for the arc, of course. It had reminiscence. It was basically building up Zenken's character, and a little bit of mystery into it, and as well giving us a little bit of backstory into Asuna. We knew she was a rich girl, but we didn't know that she had, problems, because I didn't honestly... well, I did think of the cliched thing, but... with most of the time with that type of cliche, it's like, a tantrum. Hers is just like, general. Like, it has my favourite theme, existence. She wants an existence somewhere, but she didn't have one until, she found someone. So yeah, that's my favourite theme and always will be. So yeah. This was a good first episode for a new arc. It set up Zenken, character development for Asuna, yeah, and it had an entertaining fight, even if it was short. Like, the music always helps. I enjoyed the reminiscence when it came the log cabin, and yeah, so yeah, 9 out of 10. Yeah, 9 out of 10. A lot of people may not enjoy it because there wasn't, combat heavy, but yeah, again, it's just a matter of opinion. I mean, you may think it's a 6 or a 7, whatever. I think it's a 9. But yeah, I look forward to next week, and yeah, maybe Asuna vs Zenken incoming. So yeah, I'll see you next week, people. Good day.